Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Tam's story. Now, last time was your first day off, and we've decided to give a little bit of a time skip, expedite a little bit as we jump ahead. You talked to me a little bit about wanting to do some work, busking, and also working for the Physicers, working with Zurich and Annika, over about a month is how far we're going to skip here.
Fabulous.
The reason why is at the end of the month, you begin to hear tell of some arrangements for what is called the Fall Festival.
Ooh.
The Fall Festival has nothing to do with autumn. It is in reference to the asteroid that fell from the sky, the reunification of the gods. It's a big deal around here, the fall. And so, that's where we're going to tie in. But first, I'd like a few rolls from you to see how well you did over the time skip. So, firstly, I'm going to ask you for 3 performance rolls.
And this is for Zurich, yes?
No, this is for busking when you'd spent some
Busking.
time
Okay.
in the taverns.
It was almost a 20.
Okay. Making a note. All right. Now, go ahead and roll me a D100.
Okie dokie. Oh
1.
no. A 1.
A 1.
Oh
Okay.
no.
All right. Next, I need you to roll me 3 intelligence checks.
And me without divine intervention.
There it is. Not a cleric.
Not a cleric. Oh, I am not rolling well. Tam is back at okay, that was okay. 20 is okay. Oh, and that's a natural 20. Okay, so not great the first one, the second two are pretty good.
Okay. And 3 more performance rolls, please.
Okey-doke. Just totally middle of the pack here. Oh my god! Okay. Highs and lows of Tam.
All right. So this month was pretty slow. There wasn't a whole lot going on, neither at the taverns nor at the Physicers. You didn't see that many customers in either places. You played some music, you earned some tips, but there just really wasn't a whole lot of traffic. And as such, over the month, you make about a total of 60 gold pieces.
Mm,
Yep,
alas.
that's
Was
how
it
the
would it be
dice.
possible that's how the dice go. It wouldn't be possible at all for me to supplement with work for glass, since that was kind of also on his docket.
Nope, that was handled by the D100. It just was
Okay,
super slow. So,
gotcha.
however, with those intelligence checks, you, over the month, harangue and hassle Zurich to show you what he knows about doctoring. And as such, you gain proficiency in medicine.
Whoa, that's worth it. I'll take the less gold and the proficiency in medicine. That's rad.
So, it is a Monday morning that we leap into. You awaken early enough that you can go get breakfast.
We will totally do that. Oh, one other thing he would have been doing over the month would be, if Taunus is willing, continuing to practice Celestial. If she's
You
willing to help him.
certainly you certainly have the time. Um, uh, Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, come on. Good dice, good dice. That's good. That's good. 21.
Okay. Yeah, 21's pretty good. Go ahead and roll me a another pair of intelligence checks.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll take it. 18 and 14.
Okay. Celestial is a tricky language.
Sure.
There's a lot of meaning in the harmonic of how you speak it. It is a very melodic language that is often used in song, but also in prayer. And as such, things that are written in Celestial almost have vowel symbols throughout the words that show you the tune at which you say the word, that where you put emphasis and where it doesn't have any. Which is a concept that the bardic mind of Temerity is pretty on point with. You have not quite mastered Celestial yet, but you can falteringly speak and understand it when you hear it.
Pretty rad.
Reading it is a
Yeah.
whole other ballgame.
Reading has always been hard for Tam, so that makes a lot of sense. But it's progress, and you'll take it.
Okay. One moment here. I have been harangued with issue. Oops.
Everything okay?
Yes. Start playing just had a thing pop up. All right. So when you awaken in the morning, you're having dreams of Tanis basically showing you how to speak Celestial. It's a very pretty language, but it seems almost as if some of it is overly extravagant for no real reason. It is
Honestly,
what it
I
is.
think that would be appealing to Tam. I think he'd
Just
be into that.
more expression. That
Probably,
morning,
like, if he gets distracted with it, it's probably by, like, oh, I could sing it this way, or I could sing it this way, or I could sing it this way. Thomas is like, okay, but, like, it means this.
yeah, Tanis is like, well, if you sing it like that, then you are telling someone that they're an idiot. It's like, not how do you do? Okay. Anyway, that morning you awaken. It's about 6 in the morning. You have an hour before you have to be at class. You have time to get breakfast if you'd like.
He's totally going to do that.
Okay, let me roll to see how they do. Breakfast is waffles. Very thick and dense waffles. You gain 5 temporary hit points from consuming them. Let's see if you run into anybody whilst there. Roll me a D100, please.
Sure can.
Roll me a
Nice to be like to have gotten
D12.
that roll. It's a 12. $11.
11. Oh, all right. The morning is fairly quiet in the mess hall. There are a few people out here eating. You notice a new face. A Triton sits at a table, looking kind of carefully around, and she has a plate of waffles in front of her. She is new to you. And this is what she
Well-
looks like.
That's exciting. I don't see her.
Scroll out a little.
Oh,
She's on the door.
oh, she is. So she is. Oh, she's so cute. She has green skin.
Yes,
Cool.
she does. Green skin, blue hair. As
Green
she
skin.
sits with waffles looking around, looking obviously nervous, as a new student tends to.
Oh, Tam will sidle on over. Say
Okay.
hello.
So you sit across from her.
Yeah.
And she looks up at you. Hello.
Hi. Are you new?
You see it takes a moment, and then she says, yes.
Oh, well, nice to meet you. I'm Tam. I'm a bard. What kind of student are you?
She kind of tilts her head and looks around. Finally, she says, I'm Wash.
That's a cool name. I like that. What are you studying, Wash?
You see that she like looks down at her hands as if she's trying to find the word, and she can't. So she kind of like opens her fingers, and you see a little bit of electricity darts between her fingertips.
Oh, your magic, huh?
She nods.
Are you the kind of magic that just knows that they're magic? Or are you the kind of magic that like has to read a lot of books about magic?
She looks at you and blinks.
I think that means you're the magic that already knows that it's magic. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't learned a whole lot about well, there's a bunch of different kinds.
I
Anyway,
think you are truth.
you think I am truth?
Yes.
Uh,
You
I
get
tried
the
it.
impression Wash does not speak common very well.
Oh, yeah, that checks out. That checks out. Oh my goodness. Well, what languages do you speak?
I'm looking at your languages. Okay. She looks at you and she says,
Mm, I don't think I know that one, friend, but he will try Celestial because he's learning it.
She just looks confused.
Okay, well, he'll go
You
through his
sing?
languages. Huh?
She asks, you sing?
Yeah, I do. I'm a bard. That's what bards do. Um, he'll pull out. Well, I guess he'll sing her something. He'll just kind of sing her a little ditty. Lavender's blue, dilly dilly, lavender's green. Yeah, I sing, but you know, not so much
This was
like that
pretty.
always. Oh, thanks. I could do some magic too. You want to see? He'll make a little minor illusion of like I don't know, some fish.
She smiles. And then she also will tweak a minor illusion of similar fish, but a school of almost iridescent rainbow goldfish that swim around yours.
Amazing. They can have a minor illusion conversation.
It doesn't really mean anything, but it is pretty.
Well, yeah,
Um,
it doesn't have to mean anything. You play.
right. Um, as Wash sits across from you, you see that she kind of considers. It says you speak Abyssal.
I do. That was one of the ones that I chose. I'm not totally like clear about what all the languages are and what they mean.
So
But
Abyssal is like the languages of like beholders and
oh,
like you could speak that, I guess, but it's very weird that you would speak that.
I don't know. This I can reassess this
Um,
language
like if
choice.
you want an exotic language choice, there's lots of them that would make a lot more sense. I just if there was a reason for your character to speak Abyssal, I'm on board.
I don't think there was one. I just was sort of like I don't I imagined that like maybe Abyssal, maybe Infernal is actually the one that is like Tiefling language. I wasn't
You
sure.
have
I
Infernal.
should, yeah, I should have asked you to be like, "Hey, what would make the most sense?" I figured Elvish would make sense because he lives in KO.
Sure.
Um
Elvish is fine.
I would have taken Celestial, but he's learning Celestial in game and I like that for him.
Sure.
Um is there a language that makes more sense for him to speak in KO as a cleric?
As a cleric of, well, being raised by Magos in a family of Magos, Draconic and Primordial, those two would be pretty likely.
Okay, let's do primordial. Seems about right.
Primordial, okay. Then when she spoke to you, it was Aquan, which is a
Oh,
which is a branch of Primordial, so you would have understood that she says, "I'm best at speaking in Aquan."
okay, great. Then we can say it was like a dialect issue at first, and
Sure.
then you can switch to the language that you speak
Let
and
me
actually talk to her
let
like
me
a person.
change. You don't have Abyssal because that would be nonsense. And
I
you have
appreciate
Primordial.
it.
Update.
I should have checked.
It's not a big deal. All right. So you understand her. So when you clearly do speak Primordial, specifically Aquan, she smiles and she says, Most people around here don't understand me when I speak the my native tongue. I'm surprised you do.
Well, I live in a, do you know where KO is? I lived there, and my
I
family
don't.
taught me.
I don't
My
know where
family.
KO is.
Oh, well, it's kind of north, it doesn't matter. It's a cool place where you learn stuff sometimes.
That's
Kind of
cool.
like here, where you also learn things, but all the time.
Yes, I'm hoping to learn a lot.
Are you worried about your classes? It must be hard not really knowing common, if that's
I'm
how everyone's
getting
you.
I'm getting better. It's slow.
Well, if you
I
want some help,
I grew up on the shelf where common just people didn't speak it.
huh? Well, I can help you a little bit if you want. I mean, I'm sure you'll learn a lot through immersion, but I got a friend teaching me Celestial. The lessons have been really useful. But if you want, I can do some little supplemental common lessons with you because I already speak your language, maybe.
Maybe. I think it might be best for me to try to learn it on my own for now.
Okay.
But I thank you for offering. That's nice of you.
Sure. But, we got to help each other out. We're all here in the same place and learning how to do, not the same things, but
You
we're
don't
all learning to
have
be adventurers.
you don't have any hidden intentions, do you?
No.
Okay.
Everyone always asks me that. I don't know why.
Cordell warned me that some people would see me as exotic and try to take advantage.
Oh, well, I don't know why you would try to take advantage of somebody exotic, but I
Because
think
I'm
it's
not
just good.
familiar, is what he said. I don't know how things work around here.
Oh, well, I think that's all the more reason to teach you how they work.
He's trying to help. People
Yeah,
up here do have a weird way of talking.
yeah. Like what?
Like they don't say what they mean.
Yeah, that's true sometimes. Do you not lie very much where you come from?
I don't see the point.
Not really either.
There's nothing to be afraid of when you're talking to someone else. Unless you mean them harm.
Yeah, I think sometimes people are just afraid of being, embarrassed or caught off guard and they feel like they gotta know everything.
Why?
Because people are complicated.
I don't think so. I
Yeah?
think people are very simple.
How so?
Everyone's afraid. Everyone's afraid of everyone else. And they don't have to be. Where I grew up, no one was afraid of anybody else.
How come?
Well, it was hard to be. And then you hear in your mind, because we can always just take a look.
Oh, yeah, that's a trick. So, you didn't have a lot of privacy then, huh?
Privacy?
Um, this is the thing where you get to kind of be alone with your thoughts and nobody knows what you're thinking or doing, or you can just kind of be in your own head and no one really knows what's going on with you.
Oh, if you concentrate, you can be alone. And then suddenly you feel just like this wall, as if it's closed, just in your mind of where there was a connection is suddenly very gone.
Oh, no, no, you don't have to. I wasn't saying I needed privacy. I just was explaining what it's like for people that don't know how to do that cool trick. It's a
Oh,
cool
I
trick.
see. You were using an example.
Yes, I was using an example.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm still new to these things.
That's okay. I don't mind if you look in. I don't really. I mean,
It's rude to dive deeper without asking.
that makes sense. So you do have privacy. It's just kind of a different kind.
Yes,
That's a really cool way to live.
I think so too. I miss it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be frustrating to try to explain yourselves when you could just show someone.
Yeah. Does anybody around you like feel kind of upset that you were in their head?
I don't think they know. You didn't know until I showed you,
Yeah, you're right. I didn't know until you showed me.
because I wouldn't
Well,
have dove deeper unless I asked you.
well, I think it's possible that because people don't know that you can do that to them and they're not used to it, they might be surprised.
When you say to them, I'm not doing anything to them, they're showing me. And it's like when you read something. It's just there and you read it. It's not as if you go out of your way to read it. It's just visible to you.
Yeah, I I understand that. I get that. But other people that don't live with that reality, they might find it jarring.
So I should not tell them?
I don't know, really. Does any like your teachers, have you met your teachers yet?
Yes, my teacher is Amilla Dorn. She's very nice. I can't
Do
read her.
Oh. Well, that might be because she has really good defenses about that kind of thing. Or maybe she has some kind of magical something that makes her not be readable to you.
I don't know. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, some people are real um private. Maybe she is.
I guess. I hope she doesn't think I mean her harm or
I'm
deceit.
sure I'm sure that if you're here, no one thinks that you mean them harm.
All right. This has been a refreshing conversation, Tam. Thank you.
Yeah, sure thing. Wash. You go by Wash, right?
Yeah.
You have a different name in Primordial?
Yes.
You want to tell it to me?
Ilwashika Talulius.
I like that. Ilwashika Tellulius. My full name is Temerity.
It's nice to meet you, Temerity. You can
Nice
just
to
call
meet
me
you.
Wash.
Okay. It's nice to meet you, Wash.
I think it
You want
sounds
to?
cooler than Ilwashika.
I think it does. Also easier to say, which, helps.
She nods.
You're gonna do great.
I hope so. I don't want to be
Yeah.
late, though.
Okay. You go get to class. You find me if you want to. You can come to the Merry sometime. We hang out together.
We're in the
Me and
Merigard.
friends.
What do you mean?
No, no, no. Not the academy. I mean the Merry Guard. The bar, the tavern, not too far from
Okay.
here.
She has no idea what you're talking about, but she nods.
We'll handle that later. I'll show you about that later.
All right. Then I'll see
You
you
have fun
later,
at class.
Temerity.
Yeah, I'll see you later, Washika. You have fun at class.
She leaves the mess hall. And
What
you
a nice
realize
person.
you probably should too, or you're going to be late.
Yeah, he will scuttle away.
Okay. You head to the Bard classroom. As you do, and I pull this up. Tally, Nore, and Yithrun are in the classroom, preparing for today's lessons and such. Tally looks to you as you enter, and she says, Tam,
Hi.
good morning.
Morning.
Did you enjoy your weekend?
Sure did.
Good.
Gonna tap Ethan on the shoulder per usual.
He accepts the guidance as usual and continues working on his own spells. Tally says, as you know, the Fall Festival's up and coming.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about it?
Does Tam know the
Roll a
basics that you
history.
told him? Okay. He will also, while I work on that, he will also grin at Norre.
Norre nods at you, which is a vast improvement. A 16. Yeah, you know what I've told you, basically.
Cool. I know it's about the gods, and the return, and the like comet that crashed in, and that probably it's very merry and festive.
Right. Well, what do you know about what the Merigard does for the fall festival? Anything?
Not nothing. Haven't been here long enough.
Cool. Fantastic. All right. Here's what we do for the fall festival. Every
Concert?
year. No.
Concert.
Nope.
No.
Calm down. It is instead a competition amongst the students to, well, first things first. The higher level contracting teams, they go out and they gather monsters and enemies, and then they lock the city down and set the monsters loose.
What?
That is correct. I didn't stutter.
So is everybody else in town? Like, are they all inside and not hurt?
Absolutely not.
What?
Everyone's pulled out of town and set up with scrying screens so they can see exactly what's happening throughout their...
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
homes
Yeah.
and
So
such.
everyone is safe. It's just us that are fighting the monsters.
Correct. Each monster carries with it a stone around its neck. The team that gathers the most stones wins. What do they
Love
win,
it.
you might ask? They win a pile of gold. They also win some magical items.
Oh my gosh.
And because these are students, if the team of students are all whole and well at the end of the festival, well, their contract is a little bit expedited, you might say.
Seriously?
They get a free pass past the exams to get signed up as a team.
Whoa.
That's why it's once a year.
That's amazing.
I'd like to think so.
How far away, how long do you have to be to sign up? Can I do it like now as a person that's only been here for a month or two?
Well, you
little
can
less-
sign up right now if you like, but the fall festival isn't for another month. The
Oh.
point is, I have a task for you.
What is it?
Well, you see that she kind of pauses for a second and she says, "You're likable enough, Tam, and you can get along with gnomish folk pretty well, if I recall.
Yeah.
The tinker shop that usually supplies the scrying screen has had, well, some complications. And so we're
Okay.
hoping to send you down there to deal with that problem and convince the old tinkerer to help us out, after all."
Oh, does he not? He doesn't want to do it at all?
Well, last year we had some issues with the scrying screens being broken by the individuals that were watching it. And they're expensive to fix.
Okay.
They're magic items after all, you know?
Sure.
It's basically just a clairvoyant spell cast over a certain area and bound to a piece of glass. Really, I could probably do it myself, just by casting the spell. But it's much more convenient to show, you know, everybody what's happening when they can all just look at a glass pane and see what's happening.
Sure.
They're very
Makes sense.
simple, but, well, he's a little bit old and a little bit ornery.
So you want me to convince him to still do it?
Correct. With the promise of gold from the Merigard Academy, of course. We will
Sure.
pay him to do it as we have every other year. We
But do
already
I have
pay
any-
for any damages that are dealt to any buildings, so I don't see why... Look, we've had this argument before. It's not important. Just get down to the old tinker shop and see if you can convince the old man to throw us a
Okay.
bone.
Do I have any negotiating power here? Can I say we're gonna pay you like a little bit of extra gold or what?
Within reason.
Like 20 extra pieces, like 50 extra pieces? Like how much? What is reason?
Alright. From what I understand, each scrying screen is about 800 gold pieces, and we only need 3 of them to cover the most of the town. So, the Merigard is, well, we're willing to pay the 2,400 gold for the scrying screens. Be willing to go up to 2,600, I suppose. But not any further, because then I'll get yelled at, and I don't want to get yelled at by
Sure,
anyone.
makes
It might be my duty to ensure, public relations go smoothly, but that doesn't mean that they
Yeah.
do.
They're not made of money. Yep, got it. First will be mad, etc. Yep. Okay. Uh, should I just go by myself or do I go with anybody?
If you can think of someone that might make the negotiations easier,
I mean, Tanis is pretty good at tinkering with stuff. Maybe she would have like an eye for this kind of thing. I can do the talking and she can do the investigating.
that's fair. Go talk to Persh and see if she's available.
Okay. Okay, I'll be back.
All right, then I'll see you next time.
Okay.
And she wishes you luck.
All right. You will kind of look around the room and then dart out and go to Persh.
Okay. Hold on a
And
second.
then- What's the name of the tinker? Do I know? Is it
You don't
Tinker?
know. You just know Gnomish Tinkerer is what Tali said, and you suspect it might be because she also doesn't remember. Hold on a second here. All right. As you head down to Persh's desk.
Yes. Hey, Persh. I'm supposed to go talk to a tinkerer about some screens, some scrying screens.
They're like, "Good morning, Tam."
Morning.
Yes.
Do I know
This
the name of
is-
this guy?
His name is Alaric. Alaric Tinkerbottom.
Tinkerbottom. That's funny.
Don't tell him that.
I
He
won't
won't
tell
find
him
it very
that.
funny. Did you have anyone in mind that you were going to bring with you? As I assume that's why you're speaking to me.
Yeah, is Tanis around?
Let me look. Roll me a D100.
Come on, you screwed me over the first time. Give me something good the second time.
67.
7?
Roll me a D4.
Maybe. One.
It looks like she is indeed not busy today. Would you
Awesome.
like me to call her down for this?
I would appreciate it.
He picks up the sending stone. Widget. Right. Could you send down Miss Shile? A free agency? Yep. And he puts down the sending stone. She'll be down in a minute.
Thank you. And as soon as she shows up, he will beam and switch to Celestial and fill her in on all the details in Celestial.
Tanis, always dapper and well kept and dressed, as a noble drow would be. She nods at you and gives a half smile as you are speaking Celestial to her. And in Celestial she responds, "You are still a little rough with your transitions and conjunctions, but you're getting better."
He puffs up his chest.
So what is the plan?
Well, let's go, and we'll talk about it on the way.
Lead
And
the
kind
way.
of as they walk through the streets, he'll say, "It looked like they wanted me to do the talking, but I wanted to go with you because if this guy is a tinkerer and you know how to build stuff, he might listen to me, but I think he'll trust you."
She smirks and she says, "I do know how to build things, yes. I have also been known to know my way around a conversation."
Yeah, right? Exactly. You're the whole package. So, no one better to ask for this mission.
Well, then this should be interesting, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Plus, you're a good teacher on top of that. Not that that's going to be relevant.
You
but
can
that's just
stop.
it.
You can stop trying to flatter me. I'm already coming with you.
I'm not trying to. I'm just telling you why I picked you.
Roll a persuasion.
Tam is like, I mean the thing I say, and everyone is like, what if you didn't?
Yeah.
And Tam is confused.
Tam is a rare breath of fresh air for most people. With a 22, Tanis kind of tilts her head and looks at you and says, "You are certainly an unusual breed, aren't you?"
People keep telling me that.
I don't know what rock they found you under, but I hope there are more like you under there.
Aww. See, now you're flattering me.
It's too easy. Roll me a d8, please.
Yes. Nope, that's a d10. That's not what I wanted. There we go.
A 3! There are no encounters on your way down. That's how it goes. Yes, that's a 3. As you make your way down, you realize you don't know where the Tinker Shop is. You've never been there.
Did not ask.
You get to the Pharaoh Market, and then, as you're kind of looking around, Tanis says, "You don't know where we're going, do you?"
Nope, I forgot to ask. See, you don't have to flatter me about this. I have never been good at knowing where I'm going. Let's see.
Brilliant in so many ways, and yet lacking in some. Maybe we should ask around.
Yeah. Well, the diamonds are better for being imperfect, etc., etc.
Who says that?
Oh, I don't know. Probably bards.
Probably bards. Certainly not dwarves. They certainly wouldn't stoop to such lows.
Yeah, don't tell Sagona I said that.
Oh, I'm going to.
Oh no, I'm in trouble.
Who do you look to ask?
Good question. Can I make like a... Is there anyone that's like a shopkeeper that might look like they might?
Oh yeah, you're in the market. There are vendors all over the place here.
Anyone that they might need or be themselves a tinkerer of some kind?
Roll investigation.
I'm into it. Can I help? Can I get Tanis to help me?
Yes. You can ask her for aid and roll it with advantage.
I will ask her for help.
What would you do were I not here?
I don't know, which is why I asked you. Clearly I'm useless without the aid of someone much smarter than me.
So long as you can admit it. And she will aid you in looking around. With a 17, hold on. You're looking specifically for a vendor that sells or might deal in tinkering and other sorts of
yes.
wares like this. Okay. Yeah, you see that there is a temporary stall set up in the middle of the market. Behind it is a rust-colored tiefling with black hair that is slicked back, and they have spectacles that are down around their neck. In front of them is a counter that's covered with a pipe that seems to be just loosely blowing bubbles up into the air, and then what looks like a bright green feather, but it gleams with copper and brass running along the edge of it, and then an orb next to that filled with moving smoke and a bunch of other small trinkets of the like. And as you are looking, the tiefling notices and says, "Hello there, how may I help you?"
Tam will be openly admiring and fascinated by all of that. And
I am pleased to have caught your attention.
Oh, wow. I wish I could stay and look at this for a long time, but we're kind of on a mission. Do you know a gnomish tinkerer named Elric Tinkerbottom? By any chance?
I do not maybe think about my competition so much whilst I'm in town, but I believe they reside in that old shop. And he points down the alley that's basically behind you. And a ways down, you see there is a structure that is the most gnomish structure you've ever seen. It's kind of a brass domed building that's small with a door that's a little bit too short.
Okay, yep, that checks out. I appreciate it. Well, while I'm here, because I don't want you to think that I'm only looking for your competition, can you tell me about these really pretty, cool things you have?
These are decoration pieces, the sort of things that you place around your room for people to talk to you about. Conversation starters, as they say. For example, he picks up the orb with moving smoke, and as he does, the smoke changes color. changes to like a blue tint, and he says, "This orb will reflect the mood of the holder. For example, I'm feeling cheerful and optimistic that you may purchase from me. Yes, so is blue. Someone is angry, it shows red, and if they are maybe interested in you, it turns more of a pinkish purple. You know what I'm saying? It's a mood. They call it a mood orb, but
A mood orb. I love it. How much is it?
for this, 1 gold piece.
Oh my gosh, that's such a deal. What a bargain. Absolutely. Please and thank you.
You hold out a gold coin, and he holds out the mood orb to you. You've bought a trinket.
I have bought it. I mean, you can always just. He is very easily distractible by trinkets.
Behind you, Tana says, "Temerity."
Yep. I didn't want him to be empty-handed. He gave us good advice.
Of course.
And now I have a trinket. Look. What color is it? Is it blue?
I don't know. What mood are you in?
He's in his normal mood, which is like happy and carefree.
Carefree. So it's probably kind of like a bluish green.
Yeah, if he's about it.
The smoke it is a very pretty smoke as it swirls around within the orb, and Tanis raises an eyebrow. Well, I'm glad to see that you are in as good a mood as you seem.
You wanna hold it?
Roll a persuasion.
19.
Tanis rolls her eyes and says, "I admit a little curious," and she holds out her hand for it.
He hands it over.
As it sits in her hand, I don't know what mood she's in. Let me roll. It kind of settles into a dark green, almost like a forest green.
What does that mean, I wonder? He looks at what does this one mean? What does green mean?
Oh, the tiefling looks to you and says, "It's, well, relaxed, calm, placid."
Confident?
Confident, yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, that checks out.
It's what the color feels like.
See, it knows you. It works.
Yes, right. I am very impressed. And she hands it back to you.
No, you aren't.
She's being nice.
But thank you for humoring me anyway.
You ask it in such a way, how could I say no?
He will kind of continue. He will wave goodbye to the guy and continue to kind of chatter with her and be like, "I bet you could make one of those in your sleep, huh? This is the kind of thing you could make when you were like 7, I bet."
I could make it out of the gold coin that you spent, but I will say it was a unique construction.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Look, I'm looking for kind things to say. Don't push it.
I don't know anything about this. It's fun to hear it. I'm just curious. Anyway, here's the place that the gnome lives.
As you arrive at the tinker shop, the door is cracked. Hold on a minute. I need to see if I still have the ridiculous... Oh, no, I might have lost it. Or not. Hold on. My sound files are all scattered. Okay. As you enter the building, the sounds of clockwork fill your ears. The shop is absolutely crammed with devices of all sorts, the short little of electricity darting from Tesla coil to Tesla coil. And as you enter, you hear, ooh, hello there. And you see there is a white-haired, bald-headed gnome that is standing behind a counter. He has a contraption completely taken apart in front of him, but he's looking up at you as you've entered, and he says, "How can I help you? Welcome to Tinkerbottom's Tinkering."
Tinkerbottom's Tinkery. I love it. You really like clocks, huh?
They serve a very useful purpose in all walks of life.
Which is to tell the time?
You never know what time it is until you know. And looking at a clock solves that problem.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
They are also a perfect example of basic machinery.
They don't look so basic to me.
Well, are you a artificer or tinkerer?
No, but my friend here is.
You are.
And Tanis has like stooped down behind you to look in the room, and she looks around and says, "Yes, and these are remarkably well made." And the gnome says,
Well, of course they are. This is my living, after all.
he looks up at her and says,
You don't look like a tinkerer.
and she kind of smiles and says, "That was the goal, yes. Anyway," and then she gestures to you.
Hey, so it looks like you're working. Can we take you away from your work for a little bit to have a little conversation?
Are you a customer?
Well, we could be.
Then I could be.
The thing is, it seems like there's maybe a dispute. You see the colors we're wearing? He kind of gestures. He's got his merit on.
Yes.
Yes. So, seems like you used to have a contract about the Falling Festival for scrying mirrors.
Yes.
You see his demeanor has kind of dropped a little, and he sits down on the stool.
How come you don't anymore?
Because people of this town have no respect for contraptions. They don't honor a deal.
What do you mean?
Last fall festival, I sold 15 scrying mirrors to the town of Ferrum, and I received 3 that were still intact.
Only 3?
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't pay you back for the damage?
They paid me a paltry sum to keep quiet.
Oh.
Glass is hard to come by around here. I had to order that from Ceres.
What happened? Do you know?
They gave me broken mirrors. I don't know what happened to them. They said something about some sound magic or something. It's not my problem. The problem is that they returned my property broken.
Okay. So, magic broke the mirrors, and then you got them back broken, and you probably had to take a loss, huh?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see why you wouldn't want to make that trade again.
Mm-hmm. A good pane, proper for containing a clairvoyance magic, is well over 500 gold pieces apiece, and I had to order that from Ceres. It's not
Far
easy.
away. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I understand why you're mad. Well, what would ease your mind about this? More than money?
Money.
I mean, like, is there anything else?
Money would do it.
I don't know how much money I'm authorized to offer, but if we could show that the populace is going to learn respect for your property more this time, would that help?
Probably not. Because, let's be real, people are stupid. They don't understand what it is that they're looking at. They won't be careful with a magic item, especially not the commoners from outside the chapel. Any farmer sees a window and they think, oh, it's just any old window, even though they're seeing parts of the town in it that they can't possibly be seeing otherwise.
And behind you, Donna says, "I do understand where he's coming from."
Yeah, that makes sense. What would you do, Tanis?
Firstly, I'd try to make the windows a little bit hardier, that they could stand maybe a little bit of abuse. But as the builder, I understand his frustration. I would demand some, well, money. Or I would demand some promise of recompense should my constructions be broken. Apparently, the Marigot Academy did and then didn't.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be. Is there... I mean, Persh seems like he's pretty on the up and up about this stuff. Is there a way to make them magic resistant? That's probably really expensive.
magic resistance. I mean, you can make anything magic resistance, but as you said, it's money. Requires more expenditure of energy.
Is that something that we could provide as the academy? Maybe like the students could. Maybe the students, I mean, if that's something that we could do, and we're students anyway, we could treat it like a free agency, right?
That is certainly a project I could run by Widget and see if she's interested.
Seems like the kind of thing that the students would need to learn.
Oh, yes. That's something I'm still working on, so... That's not a bad idea. Perhaps we should submit that to Persh.
Okay. She's gonna turn back to, Elric and say, would something like that be okay?
Something like what? I wasn't listening.
That's fair. That's fair. You were working. If the Marigard promised to reinforce the glass such that it was resistant, we used our own resources as students of the academy, and we could promise in that way that your property wouldn't be damaged, and we could get some learning out of it, would that maybe change your mind?
Roll me persuasion. With advantage, because Taunus is helping. 16.
If you can get it to me in writing, signed by the founder himself, Mr. Tourneau. Yes, I can see that working.
Okay. I don't know if I actually know the founder. But yeah, I'll send that back to our people.
Then I'll be waiting here.
Okay. Okay. We'll be back.
And
He'll leave the shop and he'll look up at Thomas and be like, have you ever met Tourneau? I only know Persh.
no, I didn't even know that was a name.
Yeah.
Why does he know something we don't know? That feels a little odd.
Yeah, it does feel weird, huh? Should we ask him?
The gnome? We could just pop back in, I suppose.
We could. Or we could ask Persh. Persh might know.
I think asking the source is a better course of action.
Okay. Then he'll stick his head back in and say, hey, sorry to bother you again. How do you know that guy's name? Because we're students there and we don't know that guy's name.
Well, that's why you're students. He doesn't busy himself with the riffraff that comes in off the street.
Did you attend the Did you work there? Were you a teacher?
No. I've just been here forever.
Oh.
When you're a contractor, maybe then you'll know who the hell I'm talking about.
Okay, that's fair. We'll come back.
Off you go.
Oh.
And the gnome puts the spectacles back down and resumes his work.
He's actually gonna run over and be like, hey, can I can give you a little help if you want, little magical assistance.
No.
Sharpen your mind a little.
No. Get out of here. Go. Shoo.
Okay.
You don't know my process.
That's fair. Fair and true.
As you are scampered.
He shoes.
Okay. You head back out into the proper of Farum, heading back toward the Marigard Academy, I assume.
Yep.
Roll me D8.
Oh my gosh. One.
There is no encounter as you make your way back to the Marigard Academy. You arrive promptly. The Marigard foyer, occupied once again by Persh. This time you see that there is a black dragonborn standing in front of Persh. And Persh, you see, gestures, and the black dragonborn heads to the right.
Tam's eyes light up and he kind of watches to see if the person knows the selections room is there.
The black dragonborn looks, finds a door, and goes through it.
Congratulations. He heads up to Persh and says,
Welcome
okay,
back.
so we didn't complete our mission yet, but we have a proposal.
All right.
Elric says that he's mad because when the Marigard Academy, when he returned his when we returned his mirrors last year, only 3 of them were intact, and he gave us more than that. And we said that, like, and I said, oh well, did they pay you back? And he said, yeah, it was a paltry sum, but I had to get the glass from Saris. And he seems more mad that the people didn't really respect his property, which he kind of looks up at Tanis. I mean, like, I get that. That's frustrating. So I suggested that maybe this time we can help him with our resources to reinforce the glass to make it magic proof, because he said that part of what broke it was like some thunder magic, maybe. Like, so I was thinking if we could like make it free agency for maybe the artificer students or even the sorcery students to reinforce the glass for him, then he will be okay with it. He said if we can give him that deal in writing, he'll sign it.
Roll me a persuasion check. With advantage, as Tanis is helping you.
Nope, that's performance, sorry. That performance was also a +6, but I'm going to follow the rules.
17.
17.
Persh nods as you're speaking, and he says, it's not a bad idea. We could certainly use more work for the artificers. There's not a whole lot of free agencies that come their way, otherwise. Not many things around here that require, well, mechanical engineering. How do you feel about this? He asks Tanis, and Tanis says, I think it's an excellent opportunity, and I think Widget would find such work as beneficial to all the students, as I know for a fact that myself and Sean could use more practice imbuing items already magical. Persh nods. Alright, I can see we can make that happen. I arranged the free agencies anyway. I mean, I like the sound of this. It's simple enough.
There's one thing he asked for, though. He wanted it signed by Torno, the person that founded this place.
Alright, that's annoying. Okay, hold
Why is
on.
it annoying? Is this person not on our plane or something?
No, he doesn't like to be bothered with the day-to-day if he doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it's fair.
One moment. And he picks up a ledger. He begins running through it. As he does... One moment, please. I need to make a quick roll. Okay. Alright. Hey. Foundry, please. Thank you. Okay. Hold on. I appear to have lost my token. It's never easy, is
It
it?
never is.
Come on. Okay. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay.
I found
Got
it.
it. Got it. Got it. We're good. Sorry for the confusion.
You're all good. I had to feed the cat before he did some destruction.
Persh says, all right, he is available at the moment, but he's not as easygoing as me. I recommend you have a very good idea of how it is that you're going to word your request before approaching the man himself. He's going to be in the office. First door on your left. Knock 3 times.
Okay. First door on the left. Knock 3 times. He will go to the door, and he'll look at Tanis before he opens it, and he'll say, okay, do you have any advice for me?
Speak as though you are speaking to someone who holds power over you. Respectfully,
Okay.
confidently, and to the point.
I don't know about to the point or confidently, so I will do my best.
I am certain that together we will pull through this just fine.
Thanks, Tanis.
Mm-hmm. And she
I imagine
stands,
that-
her hands clasped behind her back and like the small of her back, and waits as you stand at the door.
He will tuck the orb away. I imagine it is like probably a yellow now with anxiety. I
Yeah,
don't know what color,
probably.
but, but he like puts it deep in his little like pouch such that it will not give him away, his little trinket. And he will give himself guidance
Okay.
because I keep forgetting to do that. And he will knock 3 times on the door.
There is a moment of pause, and then you hear, "Please enter."
He will push the door open.
You
and
see
try to
that
stand up.
immediately in front of you is a conference table. There are 14 chairs at the conference table. Beyond that is a broad wooden desk, and this whole room is dark wood. The shelves lining the walls are filled with books, thousands of them. Across the room from you, you see that seated behind this broad desk is a bright red tiefling with aggressive horns that jut backward. Here's what he looks like. Oh, the map didn't change. I am a fool. Here it is.
Tam cannot help but smile. That it's also another tiefling.
Yes. This is one of the more devilish tieflings you've seen. It's as if someone had maxed the slider toward Fiend. And the man sets down a quill, and he kind of leans back in his chair, and he looks at you, and he says, "How can I help you?"
I think Tam will switch to Infernal out of respect. And approach slowly and say, "Hello, sir. My name is Temerity Goldhorn."
As soon as he hears you speaking Infernal, he holds up a finger, and he looks to Tanis, and he says, "Do you speak Infernal?" Tanis, hearing it in Infernal, doesn't understand Infernal, and so she just is blank. And so the tiefling in front of you says, "Please, in common."
He'll switch back to common and be blushing a little for his, as much as his black, like gray black, can hold it.
Mhm.
And just take a breath. And
Relax.
say, "I was sent on free agency today to negotiate with the Tinkerer, Elric Tinkerbottom, and he was upset about the quality of the mirrors as returned to him last time. We came up with a solution for him to make us more scrying mirrors for the festival if he provides the mirrors and our students particularly our artificer students, he will gesture to Tanis, magically reinforce them so they're less likely to take damage. Seemed like a win-win. We could have a free agency for the artificers, and he would still provide the mirrors without jacking up the price. But he wanted the proposal approved by you in order to accept it.
Roll me persuasion.
Do I still have advantage because Tanis is helping me?
Tanis hasn't said anything. So,
That's
unfortunately,
fair.
no. But you do have a guidance.
But I do have a guidance. Come on, Tam. That is not bad at all. 23 and guidance. You gonna roll for me, please? I guess it will not, so I will just roll a d4. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay,
25.
25.
The tiefling looks at you from over his desk, kind of tips his head, and he says, I have no issue with this. What is it that you require from me?
I think just your signature, sir. We have to write it up, and then get it signed by you, and then we'll take it back to Mr. Tinkerbottom.
Very well. Draft up the contract, bring it to me, and I will sign it.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
He will go back out to Persh, shaking a little bit, because that's scary, and say, okay, he said yes. Do you want to draft the contract? Because that's the kind of thing you know how to do.
Persh nods as he's got like an ink bottle in his mouth, and he sets the parchment down and begins writing. It doesn't take him long. Persh is well practiced at this. And before you know it, you have a contract stating that the Merigard Academy will provide the magical reinforcements for a number of scrying mirrors provided by Alaric Tinkerbottom, along with compensation for the damaged mirrors that had occurred from the year previous.
Is it
Then-
within our budget?
There is no comment of money.
Okay.
There is...
I'm just going to let them handle the money in that case.
Then it says signed, and then a blank. And he holds the contract to you.
Cool. He takes it back across the room, folds his hands, tries to keep them still. His tail still twitches. His orb is yellow.
Oh boy. Alright, do you knock?
Yeah, 3 times.
Come in.
He will enter,
Same as
be
before.
quiet, and put the contract on the desk.
The tiefling looks over the contract. Well done, Mr. Goldhorn.
Thank you, sir.
He signs it. Zane D. Tourneau. And then he hands it to you.
Tam will nod and go to the door, and because he's Tam, he will turn around and look and say, I really appreciate this place you made. Thanks for making it.
I didn't make this place. I inherited it from a good friend.
I appreciate them and you.
If you wish to know who they were, look up Crumb Copperhand.
Crumb Copperhand. I will. Thank you.
A pleasant day to you.
You too, sir.
And he turns his attention back to his desk.
He will close the door.
Tanis behind you says, well, that was tense.
He reminds me of my dad.
Also a tiefling.
Yep.
I'm tripping over you these
Also-
days.
What?
Tripping over them these days, it seems.
Yeah, apparently. Also, has a lot of gravitas and very scary.
Are you all right?
Yeah, no.
Perhaps when we
But
finish with this, we'll go get a drink.
yeah, maybe you could, maybe, yeah.
Let's finish up.
Back
So.
across the city they go.
All right. You emerge back out into the town of Ferrum. Let me pull up the map and roll me a d8, please.
Yeah, do. Eight.
Roll me a d100.
39.
39. One moment. Okay. As you're heading through the main market of Ferrum, there is a medium-sized fountain in the middle of the market that's mostly just a set piece, just for decoration. But as you're walking by, you see there is maybe a adolescent or a teenage boy that is leaning over the edge of the side of the fountain, and you watch as his hand emerges full of coppers. He's stealing the coins people have tinged into the well as wishes.
Is there like a wish thing? Is it the same kind of deal as like a wishing fountain?
It's like a wishing well. And you see this child is taking the coins out.
Tam will go up to him.
You hear behind you Tana say, "Oh," as Tam is walking up, just an exasperated noise.
And kind of tap him on the shoulder.
The kid, kind of startled, lurches back and says, What? Oh,
Hey, friend.
hello.
Those are wishes you're taking.
No, they're coins.
No, but they're also wishes.
Well, do they do anybody any good?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I've wished on a well. You've never wished on a well?
Of course I have, but none of that's ever mattered.
He's gonna put his hands on either side of this little boy, but like not in a like bearing down way, just in a like, hey, look at me way. He's gonna say, look, you don't know which of these wishes are gonna come true. And the whole magic of it is that the coppers get to stay in the pond. You want there to still be magic in it, right?
Roll me a persuasion.
Can I guidance myself for this persuasion?
If you want to, yeah. $21. The kid looks at you, and you see he just looks a little exasperated and tired. And he says, "Oh, fucking, all right. All right." And he just kind of, he drops the coins back into the well.
I'll give him 3 silver.
What's this for?
Your wish.
All right.
You wouldn't have been taken if you didn't need it, right?
Right. He looks pretty
But
sheepish.
But you let the wishes be, okay?
All right. I can do that.
Yeah. Good man. Go get yourself something to eat.
He kind of holds the coins close to his chest and runs off. Behind you, Tana says, "Now, how are you going to make any money if you're giving it all to the poor delinquents?"
It wasn't that much.
It adds up quickly, you know. There's lots of poor delinquents in this town.
Well, yeah, but this one didn't need to... He didn't need to be chased off. It's good to remember that, like, there's humanity everywhere, you know?
You have a heart of gold, Goldhorn.
I have horns of gold. It's in the name.
Okay.
come on, come on, come on.
Yeah, let's keep moving. And Tanis will follow you as you head back to the Tinkery. As it was before, it is filled with the sounds of clockwork.
Okay.
And Alaric C. Tinkerbottom looks up from his desk as you enter, and he says,
Oh, you're back. With good news, I hope.
Yeah, we got that contract you wanted. Here it is.
He looks at it.
Well, I can't see anything wrong with it.
There shouldn't be.
All right. I shall send an invoice to Persh.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
He kind of huffs as he pulls out like a list of papers and stuff and starts compiling, and he says,
You've given me so much work to do. All right. Fine.
We're gonna pay you for it, though. The Academy's good for it.
Yes, they better be. All right.
They will be. I'll make sure of it.
What's your name?
My name is Temerity.
Temerity. And yours?
and behind you, Tanis says, I am Tanis Shile. You see Alaric raises an eyebrow. Roll me an insight check.
Ooh. That's nothing. 7.
Don't worry about it. He's hard to read. The old gnome says,
I will do my part, so long as the Merigard does theirs. So you gonna buy anything, or?
I don't know. Tanis, what's good?
Tanis blinks and looks around.
You're the expert.
Honestly, all of these are master craftsmen's work, so... Are you looking for a weapon?
Not really. I have one that I'm saving for.
Then perhaps another trinket. Something like that. I'm sure you'd like to waste your money on, that you're trying to save.
Oh my gosh. You, like,
I will give you a hard time the whole time.
trinkets are fun, Tanis. You know that. You make them.
And they don't cost me anything.
Are you mad that I didn't ask you for a trinket?
No. I'm making fun of you for spending gold on a trinket when I could have made you one.
I was excited. You didn't tell me that you could make cool orbs that change color.
I can make so many more.
I don't think I need to buy anything, Mr. Tinkerbottom, but I really appreciate it.
Very well, then get out of my shop.
Okay.
And he resumes his work, only now the work has changed. He's now compiling the damages from last year back into a invoice that he can charge the Merigard for. He does have a different pace of his work. He kind of has a cheerful little like a chuckle as he's doing it all.
Can I roll insight on him again, but not
Sure.
for this, but for the just
Sure.
for like how much he's enjoying it. That's much better. 22.
He seems pleased. He seems like an old wound is finally healing, as it were.
Aw.
Like an old wrongdoing is undone.
All Tam is excited about that.
As you head back toward the Merigard Academy, unless you take a pit stop.
While they head back, Tam will kind of look up at Tanis and be like, "Would you really make me something?"
If you'd like. It's no trouble to me.
Well, but I don't want to inconvenience you. Like, you're doing stuff in school and everything, and cost materials and stuff.
I'm already
And all
teaching you Celestial.
Yeah, right. You're already teaching me Celestial.
So something else would be of no real bother. Besides,
Really?
you are awfully adorable with that giant goofy grin on your face.
Thanks. I mean, yeah. Well, how about you tell me about the kind of stuff you like to make?
I like to make jewelry. I like to make things that are discreet, but extremely useful. The more use I can pack into something, the better.
Like that ring you made.
Exactly. I like to hide my defenses in places that are obvious. Perhaps it's from going to balls and being unarmed, but wanting
Yeah,
to be,
that makes sense.
having
You
my
got the one,
defenses discreet.
got the one up on everybody.
Exactly.
Plus, you can do stuff that they can't.
I sure can. It's why I always dress so, well, I like to have my appearance be deceiving.
Yeah, you seem pretty pleased when he was like, "You don't look like an artificer."
That's exactly the point.
It doesn't hurt your feelings at all, though, right? Because
No, it's on
your
purpose.
family doesn't want you to look like an artificer either, because they don't want you to be one.
Perhaps that's the secret behind it all. I look as though I'm appeasing them. And then,
But really, you're rebelling.
exactly. And one day, I'll see them again. I'll look just as normal as ever. And then I'll surprise them.
That'll be a good day.
I don't think it will.
Yeah.
The day I see my family again is the day that some vengeance is meted out.
Vengeance?
Well, you don't know me that well yet, Tam.
Against your family or against you?
I fear I've said too much.
No, you haven't. I won't tell anybody.
But then I'd have to tell you.
Yeah, but I'm pretty easy to talk to, right? You said so yourself.
You are. And as such, I've said too much already, by accident. Don't push it.
I'm not. I'm just trying to tell you. You can trust me.
Roll a persuasion check.
Guidance. Yes? Allowed?
No, you cannot guidance yourself on this, because you would literally, touch yourself and be
Yeah,
like,
no, that's fair. That makes sense. 24, though.
24. Temerity's rolling good persuasions today.
He was not earlier, so that's good.
All right. What do you know of Dark Elves?
What? I mean, I think I rolled for this a long time ago, that I didn't really know the city, but I am from a bunch of elves. Like, my KO is a bunch of elves.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll history on this?
Yes.
Like, I think she told me a little bit about how, there's a lot of, the families are really important. But that's a 6, so I don't really know. I only know about the elves in KO. I don't really know a lot about the darker variety.
Most that you might run into here are from Sithicus, the Hanging City. I am not from Sithicus.
Oh, but I thought... Oh.
The Shile family are from Duernadon, a city buried deep beneath... Well... Do you know where Quarterstone Pass is?
Emily has seen it on the map, but I imagine that Tam does not. History again?
Yeah, this is the lower DC, because it is actually very close to where you live.
14.
Yeah, you know where Quarterstone Pass is.
Yeah, I got the general gist, yeah.
Well, Duernadon is a city of old dark elves, the sort that follow an older tradition, one that's more about self-interest and ambition. And much of that is about appearances. I was raised to be traded off, married, to maintain control over a region in Duernadon. to bind two families together. So appalled by this idea I was, that I fled. And they chased me.
So you need to be able to protect yourself.
Correct. I killed 2 men in my attempt to escape. 2 men that very much should not be dead. But it's my fault. And should my family know it was me, which I'm sure they do, well, they'll be after me soon. And the Merigard Academy, providing its amnesty clause, has offered its protection.
Well, if it isn't too forward, Tanis, you have my protection too.
No offense, Temerity. Your protection is not quite as valuable as that of the Merigard.
I mean, obviously not. Obviously not. I'm not, like, you know me, I like to talk to people more than swing the sword I've got. But
Tanis sets a hand on your cheek and says, "You're very sweet. And I will happily hide behind you when the Shao family comes calling."
you don't need to hide behind me because you'll already have, like, 17 traps or something.
You're correct. But should they get past those traps, then your body, you are a shield.
Uh-huh. And then also Widget, and also Persh, and also Tabernac, who is a dragon.
He is definitely a key asset in warding away the threats to my life. They also are not... I don't believe they know I'm here, so...
That's good news.
They just know that I've ran.
No wonder you were scared. That one time we were on free agency together. Can I hug you?
If you have to ask, then no.
Oh my god. He hugs her.
She hugs you back. It is a very warm hug. You do also notice, with your passive investigation, a whole lot of hard objects underneath the supposedly form-fitting, like, robe cloak thing that she wears. You think you feel at least 4 daggers.
Amazing. Okay, I want to do something dumb.
Great.
Can I try to sleight of hand my little orb onto her such that I can see if the color changes?
It has to touch her skin, but you can try.
I'm gonna try. It's probably dumb. I'm gonna do it anyway. Yep, that's dumb. 9.
As you try and press the orb to, like, the back of her neck, she, in the peripheral vision, she glances over and says, "Tam, you're doing so well." And she like puts a hand up onto your wrist and pushes it away and says, "Some things are better left unsaid."
Okay. Okay.
Now let's go get that drink. Because now I truly need one.
Yeah, makes sense. How about this? How about you go to the Merigard, and I will take the contract back to Persh so we don't lose it somewhere, and then I'll be there.
Then I will meet you there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You head to the Merigard Academy.
Yep.
Tanis is not there. Neither is Zane. As you head to the Merigard Academy and you enter the front doors, Persh is always busy. But he glances up as you enter and he says, "Good news?"
Yep. Here's the contract.
Perfect. All right. Well done. You can consider that a successful free agency.
Yay!
Well done, ambassadoring. Diplomating? Oh, I don't know. You did a good job.
Thanks.
Problem solving.
He seemed pleased and excited to work. I mean, not obviously, but
I think he's excited to empty our pockets.
yeah. I mean, He asked if we were customers, and I said we could be, and then we gave him a contract for a whole bunch of gold, so seems like a
Right.
win-win.
Yep, I would say so. Well done, Tam. Where'd Tonus go?
She's at the Marigard. No,
Right.
sorry, Marigard. She's at the tavern.
I figured what you meant because she wasn't next to you.
Mhm.
All right. Well, consider this task completed. It'll be
Awesome.
a mark in your favor in
Thanks.
the book,
Do
as
you
it
want me
were.
to go tell Tally, or do you tell Tally?
I pass it on.
Okay.
You are free for the rest of the evening.
Yeah. He hesitates for a second, but then doesn't say the thing he was gonna say.
Okay.
Bye, Persh.
I'll see you later. And so you're heading to the Merry Guard?
Yep.
Okay. You meet up with Tonus to get a drink. And as you spend your evening maybe playing some music, maybe just trying to cut the tension after a slightly emotional reveal of Tonus's history, that, unless you have a last moment thing, is going to be where we end the session.
I think he would tell her a story.
Well, when you get there, Tonus would put a copper on the counter next to you. And through Artificer's magical tinkering, that copper gets up on 2 feet and just waves at you.
Incredible. Did you make this for me?
She nods,
Oh my gosh.
and
This
then
is
she
amazing.
tips back a sip of red wine.
Thank you. He's gonna can it run all over his?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's all night. It's gonna be running all over his. He will not get bored with it.
Okay. It has these
Um,
2 almost comically googly eyes that it looks up at you
Incredible.
with, coming out of the face that's on the copper coin itself.
She knows what he likes,
Yeah,
which
nonsense.
is nonsense. Yes.
The other thing is at the end of the night, when you take your long rest, you level up to level 2.
Yay!
But you said you were going to tell her a story. What story is that?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell her the story. I actually wrote this for Tam to tell. It is a story called The Clever Tailor. And I think it's pretty clear that he kind of had it. It's about technically a tailor and not like an artificer, but it was clear that she was in his mind when he was kind of crafting this. And it's about a land where there was a tailor that's wise in the way of the Fae, and he meets a fairy in his tailor shop. And he recognizes the fairy because the clothes don't have any seams. And in this version of the story, if you can identify a fairy, you get a wish. And he identifies the fairy, and the fae is like, okay, fine, what's your wish? And instead of making a wish, because he knows that the fae are tricksy, he says, I will make you a deal that if I can learn to make a suit with no clothes, or a suit with no seams, like the fairies do, within a year, and give it to you, I won't be punished. If I do this, I will get another wish, and you're gonna have to be straight with me on the wish. And the fairy's like, all right, sure, fine, all right, your funeral. He does indeed recognize another fae that comes into his shop, because fae are curious like that, and he kind of counted on the first fairy to tell his friends. And he identifies that fairy and gets the fairy to teach him how to make suits with no seams, the way the fairies do. And the fairy says, "Great, I taught you how to do it." And then he takes his sight away, so he can't do it again. But the tailor now has a suit with no seams that he learned how to make. And so he summons the first fairy back and presents him the suit and wishes for his sight back. At which point, he knows how to make clothes the way the fairies do, and he gets so rich.
At the end of the story, Tonus would say, but that doesn't make any sense. How could you have clothes with no seams? They would have to be joined at some point, unless you had the perfect measurements, and then you knitted it together from nothing. And she's like breaking down logically the entire story. But she does seem to enjoy the story.
Tam doesn't argue with her. He just like lets her go and watches the wheel spin.
She's like breaking it down and thinking about what are the benefits of a suit with no seams. If it was to break, you wouldn't have any point at which you could begin a seam or a new thread. You just have to patch it as if it was nothing. Honestly, it would be preposterous. Yes?
On it. You're pretty adorable too.
She kind of scowls at you, and then she says, "Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't like this whole fairy nonsense. There's no logic behind it." And she drinks some more wine.
Yeah, you hated the story, I can tell.
No, I quite liked it. It's just preposterous. The idea of a perfect tailor. And she just goes right back into it. Anyway, you level up after spending an evening with Taunus, and you've successfully completed a... Well, you rolled really high in persuasion, so you don't know how difficult that mission was going to be, but it was supposed to be fairly hard.
Yay!
You avoided a lot of, tangle by just talking your way through it, which is, I guess, the bard thing to do, so well done.
Hard thing to do. I will also say, just for flavor, for an image to end on, that little orb in his pocket is pink now.
Ah, that's cute. Okay. Temerity has a crush on Taunus.
I mean, she's so different than him. Of course he does.
Completely different. All right. That's adorable. And to everyone watching, thank you for checking out From Nothing, Tam's story. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Good night.